A river cuts through a rock not because of its strength, but its persistence. Persistence is a winner's edge. Why doesn't everybody achieve greatness? The reason is lack of persistence. Lack of persistence is the most powerful reason why everybody does not achieve greatness. It is the hallmark of a winner, and it separates a winner from an also-ran. Life filters and selects its champion by a technique very similar to hurdle race. There is a hidden system of life whose duty is to test men through all sorts of discouraging experiences. Those who pick themselves up after every defeat and keep on trying until they succeed, life proclaims them as winners. Finally, when they emerge as winners and reach the top of the ladder of success, life applauds them, saying, "Bravo, I knew you could do it." This is the system of life which lets no one enjoy great achievements without passing the persistence test. Those who pass the persistence test are bountifully rewarded by life for their persistence. They will get all the riches of life. This is also called as the genuinity test of life. Life, in this way, tests both our burning desire and also gives a seal of deservingness. It tests whether it is just a wish or a burning desire. Are you really willing to do whatever it takes to win? Persistence has been one of my most favorite topic. But why persistence? Here is a big reason for that. It so happened I had this very important question lingering in my mind. The question is, why is that in a handful of 100 seeds, why is that only few of them grow on to become a full-fledged tree? You will have your answers. Please share your answers in the comment below. This question had been lingering in my mind since a very long time, and finally there was a eureka moment. It was a moment of epiphany when I realized the answer, and the answer was persistence. Life does not give you a state of championship just like that. It has something called as persistence test. It can also be called as the genuinity test of life. Life filters also runs from champions by something called as persistence test. Imagine a hurdle race. It's very similar to a hurdle race. Life filters its also runs from the champions by something called as genuinity test. There is a hurdle at different levels of life which each individual has to cross in order to be proclaimed as a champion. Each level also has a reward which is attached to it. So the moment you cross level 1, you have rewards of level 1, then you cross level 2, level 3, and then once you reach the finishing line, you are proclaimed the champion. And the champions are proclaimed by life and celebrated in such a way that it opens up all gates of opportunities from then. The challenges were nothing but opportunities in disguise. If the person persisted and crossed all the levels and finally becomes a winner, life is happy to receive him. It says, "Bravo, I knew you could do it." And then this champion has miracles unfolding in his life one after the other. Every individual has this possibility, and each individual is given this platform to become champions in life. And before life proclaims us as a champion, it has this persistence test done for every individual. You have to cross this persistence test of life. You have to pass this genuinity test of life. There are few principles of persistence which I would like to share with all of you. These are the principles of persistence. It so happens whenever we start a task, we are in high momentum, we are very enthusiastic, and we are full of energy. And even if somebody says you cannot do it, we still go ahead and do it, because that is the kind of zeal and interest we have when we begin a task. But what happens as we progress in doing the task, we lose the interest in the task and we get discouraged by several events. Maybe the situations or people try us to discourage or retreat from the task. When this happens, most of the times we give up. But there are people who are passionate about what they want, and they are so focused on their goals that they do not care about all this, and they try to improvise on themselves. The moment they get a failure or a defeat, they didn't get discouraged, but instead they move on. They try to get the necessary competence and skills, and then they bring about the improvisation in the process, and then they move ahead and cross up this challenge, and finally they become successful in it. So there are three phases. One is the initial phase, the starting line, then the intermediary phase where there are hurdles at different levels, and the final finishing line will always have the maximum hurdle. Once you cross that, you're very close to the finishing line, and then is the finishing line. So most of us are filtered in this process, and the one who is a champion will cross all the hurdles, will keep his interest and keep rejuvenating his enthusiasm and inner fire, and finally cross the finishing line. It's just not reaching the finishing line. He has to go an extra mile beyond the finishing line. So in life, we have to always go beyond the imaginary finishing line. The initial zeal, people who only have wishes of having something in life, will drop out the moment they start facing hurdles in life. So this is how the filtering process happens. And you should know that there was this miner who had collected all the equipments and to excavate the gold from the gold mine, and it so happened he had invested a lot of time, resources in it for several years, but once he was so dejected, people saying, he had almost sold all his property and invested on the machinery just to go into these golden mines in Africa and to excavate the gold. But it so happened he did not find it. The initial phases of gold that he got was very exciting. He thought he might get some more. But then years of labor, years of investment of time, money, he did not get any results. So at one point he got dejected and then he gave up. So this was the time when he quit. It so happened then he sold all his machinery and he left back to his hometown. But the young person who bought the machinery, he went to an engineer, he consulted him, and the engineer told him, he came and found out that there was a fault line. So they had to just have to excavate a little more beyond this fault line which was there. And you know what? The gold was just 3 feet below the point where this man has stopped excavating. Most of the times in life, we just stop and quit just 3 feet away from gold. You should know that the gold was only 3 feet away, and this person quit just 3 feet away from the gold mine. So this is the other principle of life. Here are few principles of persistence. Imagine a running race. The winner is not rewarded for running few meters from the start. The winner has to cross the finishing line. The prizes of life are in the end of each journey and not near the beginning. We will never know how many steps are necessary to achieve our goals. We may encounter failure even at the 1000th step, like encountering a snake at the 99th square in the game of snake and ladder. There was a gold miner who was just 3 feet away from gold before he quit. So we never know how close we are to the finishing line and how close we are to the treasures of life. Just one step ahead, we would be victorious. Just that one extra mile of effort makes a huge difference. So it's very important never to quit, because the goal may be just 3 feet away from the point where we quit. And hence, persist until you succeed, because every difficulty is an opportunity in disguise. We never know how far beyond the imaginary finishing line is the victory. So, go beyond the imaginary finishing line. One more truth is, you will be able to achieve success if you take one step at a time. And one step at a time is not a difficulty. So let's take a step. If we don't get results, let's take another step, yet another, until we succeed. Persisting long enough, I am sure I will win. So I will persist, I will win. Here is a persistence principle of life. A diamond is a piece of charcoal which handled extreme temperatures and pressures to become a diamond. Life has a design in which it prepares you step by step, giving you hurdles after hurdles and challenges after challenges, so that you emerge out as and transformed into something different, and so that a piece of charcoal becomes a diamond. Similar to this process is the life process. So always give your best and persist until you become a diamond. The process of life refines us step by step until we become a diamond. And the results finally define us. So the process refines us while success defines us. Let the process and success both be a part of life. When we started, we were nothing but a normal human being. Let us evolve and transform ourselves into a diamond. Let the process of life refine us to become the champions. Wishing you all the best to become champions of life. Persist until you win and be the champions of life in whichever area of life. Life is unique to every individual. Know that you are a champion in your own unique way, and be the champion you're born to be. All the best. Thank you so much. And this is Persistence, a gift from me to all of you. Thank you so much.